Hello all. Hope you find the last episode of CAP Conversation interesting. So in today's episode, we have one more award-winning initiative under Project Mumbai. That is the Plastic Recyclathon. This initiative urges the people to reduce consumption of harmful plastic which is damaging the environment. At the same time, this has emerged as one of the largest public-private people partnership for a cause.
So today we have with Mr. Shishir Joshi, who is one of the governing board members, the founder and the CEO of Project Mumbai. With an impact graph stretching across 3 decades, Mr. Joshi has ventured into several interconnected arenas of work, each of them as exciting as the other, if not more. At the heart of Mr. Joshi's core and vision are not-for-profit campaigns and initiatives which help the citizens achieve transformative change by engaging with systems and structures. Our team is honored to have you with us today. So to begin, with our interview, we'd first like to ask about the initial journey of Project Mumbai and the thought behind it.
Thank you, Aarti, and thank you, Shruti. Project Mumbai is, as you introduced us, is a not-for-profit. While I may be the founder, I may be the CEO, but what we see Project Mumbai as a citizen-led initiative. People remain the purpose, and positive change to their life remains our larger commitment. What we are also trying to achieve is create social transformation at a scalable level. Not just too small initiative, but look at something which can be scaled so that more and more people benefit. And our journey has been through every such initiative. There are very good initiatives and work and organizations which are maybe in the healthcare space, or maybe only in the environment space, or maybe only in the nutrition space. What we have specialized is being available in any and every space. So we are very clear that if there is somebody who needs support, help, assistance, collaboration, partnership, solution, implementation, whichever the area they may need help, if they come to us, our answer is yes, we'd like to help out, and let's make it happen. So that's what Project Mumbai is all about.
That's really amazing, sir. So you would like to know the objectives of Project Mumbai.
The objective is very, very clear that it should be people oriented, whatever that we do. Second, there has to be a solution. And third, very importantly, that the beneficiary, who's the end beneficiary of whatever effort we are putting together, that beneficiary should feel happy, satisfied at the end of whatever we've done, whatever we've implemented. So if we're working on a mental health project, then we should ensure that the children, which are our focus, there is a benefit that the children get. If you're working on something to do with nutrition, that means providing food or grocery kits, the recipients of that, the family should feel happy. If you're doing something for let's say our artwork on railway stations, an initiative called Salam Rakshak that we've done about 41 railway stations across Mumbai, then there were two elements. One was to get citizens to paint railway stations. They felt happy that they volunteered to do something, and it's a tribute to the healthcare workers. So those people should feel an amount of respect for what we've done for them. So that's where our objective is, to ensure that the implementation should be transparent. It should be, the credibility should be completely intact, and the beneficiary should feel happy.
So the main objective of CAP Conversations is to highlight initiatives that work towards plastic waste management. So we wanted to understand what initiatives has Project Mumbai undertaken to resolve this issue, plastic waste management and waste management in general.
So environment remains one of our as critical initiative as any other one. But what we started off was where we believe that everybody talks about environment, and everybody is increasingly getting aware that the surrounding needs to be protected. But many people do not know how to go about it. For instance, plastic, as you mentioned, very often if I were to give you two plastic bottles and say which is good plastic and which is bad plastic, most people would not know which is good plastic and bad plastic. But what we are trying to tell people is to build a behavioral change in their lives. To say, let us first, there are some things which are imperatively plastic, which are required in our day-to-day life. But we don't know which of the bottles which can be discarded or reduced. So we tell people, just reduce. If you can, either refuse. If you can't refuse, at least reduce. And once you've reduced whatever you use, we will recycle it for you. So that was a behavioral change that we created. But all our initiatives also have a very interesting catch line to the whole thing, which excites people to participate. Because if I were to tell any of you all to do something for Project Mumbai or for the city, you might say, what is in it for me? Why should I do it? Because everybody is transactional nowadays. So we say, okay, what we do is you participate by donating this plastic. Now it's basically waste in your house. But even when giving away the waste, you feel, oh wow, I've done something good. I've donated my waste. So there's an element of daan that comes in. And when you're donating your waste, then the question is, you could have given it to the Raddiwala who would have given you money. Then the question is Project Mumbai making money out of it? No, what we're doing is, and what we promised is, we'll recycle that waste into amenities, not for me or you, but for the city. And we started making benches. So 3 things got established here. You started reducing your plastic, also donating something, that's doing something for others. We started creating that plastic into an amenity, which is for the city. And 3, that entire end-to-end process was transparent. So the trust element that you have, or lack of trust with other organizations, people involved in all these things, that got eliminated, that there is trust. We know what's happening to the plastic that's been given. And at an overall level, what we managed to do is to create a behavioral change. More and more people have started being part of the plastic initiative, which we were pleasantly surprised that the Limca Book of Records took note of this. And our plastic initiative is now in the Limca Book of Records of the 2020 edition. So plastic is just one of them. We are calling it the Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon because people are very fascinated by marathons. And we made that very popular. And within that, we also started working on cleaning not just beaches, but also the river bodies. So we have another initiative again under the plastic umbrella, where we get citizens across, making it collaborative. Organizations, corporates, they all can come in, clean our river beds and reduce the plastic. The same plastic can get recycled.
That's great, sir. Every initiative has its own challenges, big or small. What are the biggest challenges you have faced?
I don't think we faced any challenge. Let me be honest, because the city is so huge, and if we're really wanting to do something, even something small can become very big. So the most interesting part is that the city is so huge. And challenge, if you could ask me, we faced very little challenge. Yes, the pandemic may have caused a little slowdown in an environment initiative, or health scare is a worry, so people don't step out. But other than that, we've always found that everybody has a good bone in them. There is a goodness in everyone. And if I were to ask anyone to say, listen, I'm doing something for the city, for Mumbai, would you like to help out? There has not been a single person who has said, I will not help. Everybody would like to help. And which is where the Project Mumbai tagline, Mumbai ke liye kuch bhi karega, has emerged, because we've realized that so many people want to do something. And when I say something, they would say anything that we do. So can you do plastic? Maybe not. Then maybe you might do painting. Maybe yes, you could do volunteering, possibly yes. So anything is possible for the city that you live in. And that's why Mumbai ke liye kuch bhi karega has been our tagline.
So, sir, you mentioned about the recyclathon. So, how was that carried out? Like, what was the strategy? Where were the bins placed? How was the waste collected, and what were the collaborations made during this?
So the principle is very simple. We looked at all the steps where if I was donating plastic, what all would I require? So if I'm saying I want you all to donate, Aarti or Shruti to donate your plastic, the question they would ask is, where should I donate? So I need to create drop-off points. Then the donor would say, what kind of plastic can I give? So I would ask the same question, what kind of plastic should I give? So we created a list of what all plastic can. Then they said, how should I keep it? Do I just drop it somewhere? Then we created a list of this is how you should be dropping it. You should tie it, clean it, and keep it in a box. Then the next question was, how frequently will you collect it? Can I just leave it today? Said no. We create a system of once a month. So once a month, if I leave it today, are you going to come and collect it today? Said no, we'll come in. You drop it today, we'll pick it up the next day. So then we created a calendar and roster and all the drop-off locations. Initially, in the first few months, we did a doorstep pickup from every building. So there were hundreds of buildings which registered, and we also put in a system that this day to this day is when it's available. So we also created a social media outreach. People started following us, and 20 days or 25 days ahead, we would give them the next plastic recyclathon schedule. So people have enough time to collect the plastic as well. And then we fixed a schedule that, okay, spread the word out. It was a very simple process. And 2 days, 3 days prior to that, those messages started going out. Then we said, okay, now how do we collect it? We got people to register. That only those who register, their addresses, their numbers are there. And then we created route maps. That if 100 buildings are there, can we do all the 100 on one day? We cannot. So that means we can do 20 in a day by one truck. So that means we need 5 trucks, 5 different routes. Then we started making plans of which truck will go on which route. Now, who will travel with the truck? That was my question. So we had volunteers who said, I'd like to travel with the truck. So there are people like you who joined in, and we created volunteers. So it's about everybody doing something. We at Project Mumbai, whenever we decide an initiative, we try to think from the other person's perspective. What are the questions that they would ask? We are not planning this initiative for us. We're planning it for them. So if plastic has been collected, who's collecting it? What will you do with the plastic? And what happens after that? And how am I going to benefit? You benefit, behavior will change. You benefit, your city gets cleaner. What am I going to do with it? I'll make something for the city. And benches are there. After the benches get done, we get people to say, come across and paint the benches. So it's a thought that's been given for every step. And within this, there's nothing that comes to Project Mumbai except lots of happiness and satisfaction.
So we would like to know what are the social, economical, and environmental impacts made by this initiative.
I think more than anything else, the amount of plastic we may be collecting is very little, to be honest, compared to the amount of waste that gets generated. But what's important is that there is a behavioral change and awareness that's increasing. More and more people have now started realizing that plastic waste should not go into the landfill. They are spreading the word to others. Increasingly, school children are reaching out to Project Mumbai. College students are reaching out to Project Mumbai. More and more groups are getting together, and they are forming their own communities to ensure that plastic should be avoided. If they go out shopping, they should carry cloth bags. If they see somebody else using a plastic, they'll say no to them. And to ensure that the plastic should not go into a landfill, it should be stored and saved, and it can be recycled. So this is a huge development. Now we keep getting WhatsApps to say, avoid plastic, it's causing harm to us. When we see this WhatsApp, we look at it and we delete it. But the moment when we see our neighbors doing it, when we see our family members doing it, and when we see a recycled product, a bench made out of plastic and senior citizens sitting on it, that is inspiring. And that leads to a kind of a approach and attitude change, which is a far bigger change that we see. More and more people are now applying to us, writing to us to say, we'd like to be part of the beach cleanups. We'd like to be part of the river cleanups. Of the various initiatives, mental health requires a specialization, but getting rid of plastic just requires your mind, body, and soul to be willing. And we are happy to do that, help people to make this change.
So like you mentioned that once you change the behavior, it has a lasting impact. So for what duration does Project Mumbai carry out the recyclathon? And after that period, is there any measure taken like for the rest of the year so that someone else picks up the plastic, or how do the collaborators do that?
So our plastic recyclathon is once a month. So for instance, if today is the 27th of August, or whichever the day that it would be, if the next plastic recyclathon is, let's say, on the 30th of September, what we do is at least 20 days in advance that we announce it to people. That's one part of it. But without fail, month on month, we continue. And while the Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon is a Project Mumbai initiative, please do remember that we don't believe that this is only my task. If somebody else wants to do a Mumbai Plastic Recyclathon, we'll be more than happy. If somebody else wants to do a plastic collection, we'll be more than happy. Please do remember, one of the strongest aspects of Project Mumbai is our willingness to collaborate. We invite people to join hands because nothing is possible only by me or you or by Shruti. All of us need to get into it together and make things happen, because it's a lot of change that needs to be brought about. So singular efforts will bring change, but multiple efforts and joint efforts are going to be will really change mindsets and communities.
That's great, sir. So we really do see a very energetic and enthusiasm in you. So what inspires you to keep going?
I think people like you all, youngsters, there are so many children who are wanting to do something. Yesterday, I spent 2 hours talking to third standard students, and it was a 1-hour program of 30 students. And then there was a second program of another 30 students, and each of the programs extended into another 30 minutes, and the questions kept coming in. And the children were so well read and aware. None of them were being prompted by their parents. None of them were being prompted by their teachers. They all had the energy to say, I want to start something in my building. I'm going to plant some trees. I'm going to stitch plastic cloth bags. I'm going to paint on it and give it to everybody in the building. Now that we've been doing this work for so many years, but these children are starting small and young, and they have the energy. If they can do this, then that's the energy. That's where I get the energy. And please do believe me that there is a goodness in everyone, and that goodness has to go viral. I'd also like to add that Mumbai is the kindness capital of India. People in Mumbai are really very kind. And in that sense, and that's one of the initiatives that Project Mumbai is working on, to make Mumbai the kindness capital. And kindness can only spread if we do more kindness for others. So let's make that happen. And more and more kind people is going to only add to the energy that we see and add to the enthusiasm. And if there are more Project Mumbais in other parts of Maharashtra and other parts of India, that will make me more happy.
Very true, sir.
Sir, so does Project Mumbai work in only the VMMC area, or is it extended till Thane, Navi Mumbai regions also?
We started off with Mumbai, and that's when we had named it Project Mumbai. But we've done work in Thane, Navi Mumbai, Raigad, Kalyan, Dombivli, and you name it. We've also are doing work in Chhattisgarh. We're doing work in Gadchiroli. We've now doing work in 15 other districts of Maharashtra. So many people say, oh, you're Project Mumbai, how come you're in Sangli? You're Project Mumbai, how come you're in Satara? But the fact is, we can't keep saying we're Project India in that sense, by thought and by action. But by registered name, we are a Project Mumbai. But the idea is to help and be available to people who need help.
So what new initiative can we expect from Project Mumbai?
Oh, lots of good initiatives and new initiatives all the time. We've just recently started an initiative called Agni Rakshak. Agni Rakshak is about getting citizens to volunteer to become fire safety champions. So this is a partnership with Project Mumbai and the Mumbai Fire Brigade. Anybody who's 18 and above can get trained free of cost every Saturday for 4 hours with the Mumbai Fire Brigade, and we make them fire safety champions. They get a certificate and a cap. And we want, so every week and weekend, basically every Saturday, about 50 to 75 people get trained. Our hope is that in the next 1 year, if we can manage to train about 10,000 citizens, so every gully, every building should ideally have one fire safety champion. This will help not just the Mumbai Fire Brigade, It help people like you and me in case there's a fire. These youngsters or these citizens or these fire safety champions or these Agni Rakshaks can be our first line of safety net before the fire brigade reaches, and then the fire brigade as a specialist can take over and protect lives. We need more aware, conscientious citizens, and we are trying to build that through the fire safety program called Agni Rakshak, making Mumbai fire safe.
So, for such initiatives, how do we contact Project Mumbai? Like if someone wanted to register or an organization wanted to collaborate, how do we reach and what do you look for while collaborating?
So people can write to us. One is our website is there, www.projectmumbai.org. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter. If you do a Google search, people can look for Project Mumbai. And maybe you can ask anybody that they need to work with an organization in Mumbai. I'm sure people will say, at least talk to Project Mumbai. Or they can write to us on info@projectmumbai.org. That's our email ID also, info@projectmumbai.org. They write to us and all they need to say is put in their name and the number, and they'd like to do something, and they can, if they specify what area they'd like to work in and specify which area they come from. So if the person says, I live in Khar, the person says, I live in Dombivli, the person says, I live in Virar. That way we can figure out and create a hyperlocal networking kind of a platform and volunteering platform. So we know if there's some help in Virar required, the person who volunteered can go out and help out. So the idea is to build as many citizens, but giving them some specific tasks as well, to be online or offline.
By seeing so many collaboration and interest of people in this initiative, by what scale has the plastic reduced?
I think it's difficult to put a number because the speed with which plastic is reducing, the speed is the same speed or more, the plastic is increasing also. Because a lot of people still, during the pandemic, most people were indoors, which also meant that those who could, they ordered a lot of food from outside and groceries from outside, which came in plastic bags. So there was plastic consumption, which was there. The idea is at least awareness has increased. So if you ask me a scale, it's a huge scale that the plastic awareness of not to use plastic has increased. And we'll see numbers. The other part is our collection of plastic has gone up substantially. For instance, if we had 600 kgs during one pickup once a month, now it's gone to about over a ton. That's 1,000 kgs every month that we pick up. Now, either that means that people are giving away plastic, but it could also mean that people are consuming plastic a lot. That is the reason people are giving it away. But the fact is, more and more people are participating in the plastic recyclathon. Is a good sign that people are aware and want to give away plastic rather than just throw it in the dustbin or throw it on the street, which gets into a landfill and then which causes us harm, or for the next generation, it can be catastrophic.
So like you mentioned before that it is a joint collaboration, like each one of us has to do our part and participate in this to bring out, like to make a larger impact. So this question was related to the government. Do you think that there are certain policy changes required as to deal with plastic waste management, which will help you, which will make your work more easier?
So it's very important to be very clear on what the policy is from the government point. So in the last 2-3 years, we've heard multiple times that plastic is banned, but there's no clarity what kind of plastic. Can we really ban plastic? How do we implement the punishment for plastic? Who's going to do that? Because there's no clarity, a lot of people know that, okay, it's going to be banned now, and 2 months later, it's going to be coming back. So if that clarity is not there, then people misuse that system. So what's important is to have some kind of a system and sustained action from the government, either in policy or even in action and punishment. So the moment why do people who travel abroad behave very well, but when they're in India, they break traffic rules? Because they know that if they're in some other country, the rules of punishment are so strong. Now here, we know that we can get away with it. That अभी plastic ban हुआ है, 4 दिन बाद, 1 महीने बाद शायद ban उठ जाएगा. So people store the plastic and then they pull it out. The first few days, action is taken. That's why the plastic bags are hidden away. Now that kind of action should be consistent. We can easily argue that we don't have enough manpower to punish people and the courts are very lax. But I think this has to be taken far more seriously because none of us see the damage of plastic with our own eyes. If I hurt my hand, I can see an injury, so I can do something about it. When I throw away plastic, I don't realize how harmful, what harmful act am I committing by just throwing away a plastic. So it's important that people get to see that in real by their own eyes. Only then they'll start acting upon it. Throwing away a plastic. So it's important that people get to see that in real by their own eyes. Only then they'll start acting upon it.
So this is a very insightful conversation. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. Your journey and the impact that Project Mumbai has made in Mumbai is quite remarkable. I'm sure that many of our viewers must be motivated, and those residing in Mumbai or even nearby areas will contribute towards this great cause. Wishing the whole team of Project Mumbai all the best for the upcoming initiatives, and thank you once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, both of you, and thank you to your team also throwing away a plastic. So it's important that people get to see that in real by their own eyes. Only then they'll start acting upon it.